Wow.
Yeah, almost 30 years.
Yeah, almost 30.
Can we get you to say your name and count to 10, please?
Ndume, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Jeannie, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Benjamin Mathis, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Thank you.
Bill. Thank you and welcome back to the show this morning. The topic is issues of the Tennessee prison system, and we have been joined by Mr. BMathis and Mr. Ndume. Ms. Alexander has been with us since the first segment of the show today. And let's pick up Mr. Mathis by having you to give us some information in reference to your situation. You talk about life after prison. Why don't you make a few statements in reference to your background and how you became involved with the prison system. And then Ms. Alexander will deal with some of the issues dealing with the prison system. And then Mr. Ndume will close us out for the day by giving us additional information.
Okay, Dr. Haney, thank you. Thank you for having me. Yes, I was incarcerated for quite some time, for 22 years, to be, as a matter of fact. But it wasn't no bed of roses while you were in the penitentiary, because I lost a lot of family members while I was in, and I lost my children, not to death in that effect, but my children were quite young when I was incarcerated. And, but when I got out, I did get blessed enough with God to be reunited with my children after all those years, which was a blessing to me. And you know, life after prison has been real good to me. God's been good. He's been blessed me to be with my family again, and I got my own place. You know, it's just certain things. And to me, it's left up to the individual. You know, if you want to do good, once you get out, you can do good. But if you want to take that bad trail again, that's on you. But as far as me, I keep myself around positive people all the time. Like Pastor KWalker is one of them, and other ministers that I associate with quite a bit. And I'm just thankful to be around those kind of people, because it helps me. It helps me, and it helps me a lot to get where I am today. And I also do a lot of work inside the schools. I belong to an organization called the Dirty Dozen, and we go into the schools and talk to students and try to steer them. We give them insight on some of the things that we did to get us where we were. And we try to, you know, instill in them that we don't want y'all to follow in our footsteps and do the things that we done. And we do pretty good. We do pretty good with that. And if we can save 1 or 2 children from being incarcerated, that's a blessing to us. So we try very hard to see what we can do and continue to do our best with the young and the old, because I speak in the churches as well.
Good.
To try to, you know, let people know my background, what happened to me, why I was incarcerated for all those years with a life sentence. And thank God I was blessed to get out in 22 years.
Okay, Ms. Alexander, concerning his situation, what would you say in reference to that?
You know, Mr. Mathis points out something that is so important, that we know it's vital when someone returns to the community from the prison community, and that is being able to have family support, being able to have community support. So here's a man who had a life sentence, who spent decades in the prison, and was able to come out of that and become an important part of his community. I mean, he has wisdom to offer, he has guidance to give, and that is so incredibly important. It's so crucial that people are able to maintain contact with their families, to come back into the community, and it just makes me think about the fact, again, that there is a particular dialogue happening in this country, discussion about an awakening, about ending mass incarceration. You know, and you look at states like California, for example, that repealed their 3 strikes laws, that realized that they had to do something about their sentences that warehoused people for the rest of their lives. And now they've returned so many individuals to their communities who never thought they would go home again, you know? We think about the prison system. We were talking about in the first segment. We were talking about the violence in the prisons. And something that I think is so important for your viewers to understand, there are reasons for the violence. And that reason is not because the prisons are just full of wild animals and monsters who can't control themselves. But when you have people who are hopeless, who don't have jobs, who don't have programs, who don't have access to their families sometimes, people who are cut off from their communities, who are shipped far from their communities, have no way to get commissary if there isn't someone on the outside to help. If there is no hope, then people become desperate.
Very good. And of course, Mr. Odume, give us some information in reference to your situation over the last 4.5 or 5 minutes.
Right. Well, I would start out by saying that just trying to pick up on what Jenny was saying. Well, first off, I spent nearly 3 decades in prison, and what I've seen over the years, particularly since this new commissioner came in and the governor, they came in and just turned everything upside down in terms of, I think everybody understands prison is prison, and people are sent there for punishment and that stuff there, but I don't think that that's no reason that people, begin to, dehumanize people in such a way that, because most people sitting in prison coming home, and Pastor Walker kind of said it earlier about the way that you treat people. I mean, if you treat somebody less than human and for years upon years and send them out into society, you're sending out a ticking time bomb. I think that a lot of the stuff that's going on in the prison that then created this violence, not only among other inmates, but also too against staff, is that some of these asinine policies that the commissioner came in with that don't have no penological value whatsoever in terms of trying to have people, give people space to correct themselves. It's like Ben said, certainly we have personal choice in that stuff there, but the reality is that I think that we also too have to realize and understand that we're dealing with a system, industry first off, and I want to say this to the people that's out there watching, particularly the ones sitting in prison. Prison is an industry, and billions of dollars are involved, and based on that, somebody going to jail. Bottom line, we know somebody going to jail because there's too much money involved, too many people sitting, feeding off of this misery that's created in some people's lives. I mean, the people that, when you look at crime rate, particularly drug stuff, that sent got a lot of people sitting in prison, nonviolent people sitting in prison. When you think about some of these drug laws and stuff that sent them there, you could go to any suburban community and find that it's happening much more, but the reality is that the people are being arrested and put in prison certainly ain't no worse than the people that's committing these other crimes that's not going to prison. But the reality is somebody going, and I think that I'm happy to see that there has been a lot of attention being paid to the conditions and stuff that's actually going on in prison now, because I think I left in 2012, which I was under this regime for about 2 years, and like I said, the things that they was actually doing don't have no value whatsoever in terms of a person coming out and trying to be a productive person and being a contributing member to society.
Ms. Alexander, close us out today.
I just think people have to be aware, and people are becoming aware. But listen, listen to what the people behind the walls are saying. Right. Listen to what the employees are saying. Listen to what the prisoners are saying. Listen to what the families of prisoners are saying. This has value. It has meaning. And finally, we're having some light shown in an area which by its very nature is secret and it's closed off. You know, an institution, a prison can keep anyone or any program or any volunteer or any educational opportunity out, and all it has to say is for the security of the institution. What it really means is for the security of maintaining its secrets. And it's time for those secrets to end. And it's time for the public to understand what it's paying for and the product that it can expect from that. It's time to end this. It's
real quick, can I pick up on this point what she's saying about when you're talking about pay? I heard the governor talking about that they want to give bonuses for people that's new employees coming in, and they can take that $600 or whatever they actually doing and actually put it toward some of these programs. Then you wouldn't have the problem in terms of the violence, and you certainly wouldn't have the officers quitting in droves like they quitting.
Very good. And of course, let me thank the three of you as well as others who came by to give us such excellent information today. Excuse me. Let me encourage our audience to tune in again next week to another